All right, test 1, 2, test 1, 2. All right, so today is the day that this thing is gonna be finally going back into the Nova. We gotta do a couple things though first. We gotta prime everything, make sure that everything's lubricated and everything's got oil on it, just so when we go to start it, no metals rubbing against each other and we don't ruin it, because that would be the last thing that we would want done. So to prime this thing, we've got a little tool here that basically hooks straight up to our oil pump, and we basically will attach a drill to this end and we'll run it, and then we'll also check our pressure and see if anything's leaking and if we have the right pressure in our engine. Smile, bro, Chevy. So the first step is to add the oil, but we also have to add a zinc additive because older oil used to have zinc in it. And if we don't have the zinc, this won't have the break-in process that it needs, and it just won't run right or not for very long. So let's fill this thing up. All right, so the next step would to be spinning that tool that I mentioned earlier to create oil pressure within the engine. We're gonna look at oil pressure with our oil pressure gauge here, and we're wanting to look around 40 to 50 PSI. If we don't have that, that means our bearing clearances are either too wide or too narrow so that it's restricting or not restricting enough oil. All right, now we just start the drill and watch this gauge go up, hopefully. As you can see, it's going between 50 and 60. Battery died. So we got a couple things going on today. We got dyno day, so students are learning how to use the dyno and why exactly we need it. And that's what you hear right now.
So what does that mean? That just means that who's testing in will go faster. We may never get to in third gear of this thing 5,252. I don't know if we'll need to get there, but we have to keep going up.
So we got a PT Cruiser, stock, everything on the dyno, but this thing is loud. Oh my gosh. We also got David here. He got a brand new hood for his car. The unwrapping. Look at that thing. So there's about 2 ways that you can go about putting your engine back into your car. You can either do it with the transmission on, or you can put the engine in and then put the transmission on after you put the engine in. We're gonna try just doing it just at one whole piece into the car. Don't know how that's gonna go, but that's how we got it out. So I'm hoping it just goes back in same way.
What are you entirely against? Harbor Freight jacks?
I like the Daytona ones.
They're really nice. That's all I use. That's all I use. I've never had one fail on me.
So I want this to be a reminder to always be clean and organized, because right now we are trying to look for transmission bolts, because it was about 3 months ago that we started this project and we weren't very organized. So we've got this giant wall of just nuts and bolts that I'm looking through just to find something that will fit. So we happened to find some bolts and that fit and work perfectly for the transmission, and it's all bolted together. We just got to bolt the torque converter on, and then we're going to be sticking it into the car. All right, I think we're finally ready to put this thing in. Hopefully it goes in smoothly. Crossing our fingers. Yeah. Might have to go north just a little bit. Oh, wait. Yeah, we might have to. Oh, he's stuck in there.
I'm in on my side.
There.
There it is.
Hell yeah, baby.
The fuck, I just missed it.
Damn. She's squatting now. All right, so we got the engine in and a lot of things bolted up, but we still got a lot more to do. I think that's all we're gonna do for today, but tomorrow we're gonna come back and hopefully get this thing running and see how she sounds. All right, so this car has came a long way, I would say, from being flooded and not even running to, well, hopefully it runs, but at least it looks a little bit better, and we've rolled it around just to make sure it drives. So I think the expectations that I had at the beginning, where I wanted it to run, drive, and decently look nice, has kind of all come in and played a role. So if you don't know this already, we're kind of running out of time. So I kind of do stuff off camera. So let's go through the things that I kind of did off camera. So I completely painted the engine bay, sanded it down from all the old paint that was on it, primed it, and painted it just black, just so, you know, it looks a little bit better and it kind of goes with the theme of the car for right now. Then we also painted the reservoirs and just the little accents of the car, just to give it a little bit more purple pop, since we were going with an engine block that wasn't purple like we originally wanted it to. So yeah, we just wanted to add a little bit more color to the engine bay and just kind of the whole car all around. Then with the whole engine build thing, we kind of just had to shove everything into the engine. I wasn't really able to record a whole lot of it just because, of course, time-wise. So we were able to put in all of our new stuff like the cam and the fuel pump, a high volume oil pump, so that it runs as best as possible. Now that we've talked about really everything that we did off camera and kind of how this build is going, let's see if it all paid off and see if it starts. And another thing to know is before we start this, I also primed the entire fuel system just to make sure this thing starts up right away, hopefully. If we got everything right, it'll start up right away. I'm so stoked that this thing is finally alive and running, and it's got a nice roar. There's a couple things that we found out, like there's a leak, and also I guess there's a couple leaks. There's exhaust leak and oil leak just around a gasket that probably didn't put enough RTV on. But I'm so glad this thing's finally running again. From flood to fortune, this thing has made it, finally.